I only buy the finest tea leaves. Zesta. See BOPF.
If BOPF is indicated on the pack.
Zesta, the art of tea.
Australia cricket captain Micheal Clarke said that he was only looking ahead, not back, as he fielded questions about his relationship with opening batsman Shane Watson. Clarke made this comment at a media briefing held ahead of today's second Ashes test against England.
Clarke is claimed to have described Watson as a cancer in the side in leaked papers from a lawsuit brought by former coach Micheal, a South African who is claiming that he suffered racial discrimination when he was sacked as Australia coach 16 days before the first test. After historic last wicket stands in each innings in the first test, Australia eventually lost by 14 runs on Sunday. But they will be buoyed by the resilience and resource they showed at the midpoint of a horrible year in which they have been beaten 4-0 in India and failed to advance past the first round of the Champions Trophy.
I've spoken a lot in the past about my relationship with Shane, and so is Shane. So I'm not going to go into that. I'm not going to go backwards. For us and this team right now, it's about looking forward. It's important for me to keep my eyes on the field. We as a team know we have a really important job to do in this test match and for the rest of this series. So, you know, none of this will be a distraction to me personally, and it certainly won't be to the team. I'm focused on making sure I'm scoring runs firstly, but we need to win this second test match, so I'm looking forward to that.
The second test starts today, and Australia will be looking to build on their performance in the first test at Trent Bridge, which they lost narrowly. Meanwhile, England captain Alastair Cook declared himself unconcerned by Australia's off-field issues, but did comment on the need for cohesion in any team. Speaking at Lord's a day before the second test begins, Cook said that any problems within the Australia camp were of no concern to England, who won a thrilling first test by a narrow 14-run margin in Nottingham on Sunday.
Oh yeah, but it's not for us to comment on it. It never has been. One of our strengths, I always go, we concentrate solely on ourselves. We know how important team spirit is. We know how important the team culture is. We've experienced difficulties in the past, but you know, for me to comment on what's happening in Australia camp, I think would be wrong. And anyone, as I said, who saw what happened in Trent Bridge doesn't seem to affect them.
England have had problems within their own team in the recent past, with batsman Kevin Pietersen being dropped from the side and having to be reintroduced after exchanging texts with South Africans during the last series between the sides. England have named the same 30-man squad for the test, with the final decision again resting between the pacemen Stephen Finn, Tim Bresnan and Graham Onions.